Assalamualaikum everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Alhamdulillah, today we are going to be doing the name Ya Rahim. I always like to do Ya Rahman and Ya Rahim together, but because there's so much information that came through in Ya Rahman, I couldn't do Ya Rahim with it. So today I'll be doing Ya Rahim separately, but when you write on the piece of paper, it's a really good idea that you write Ya Rahim and Ya Rahman together, just as a way of reconfirming that they go hand in hand. And if you want to be able to do Ya Rahman, then let me know and I'll share the link with you. I am using this book. I'll just show it on the screen so you guys know which book I'm following. The first time I did the whole Zikr sessions, I was using this book, which I highly recommend. This is one of the best books ever, at least for me. Even though it's very poetic and you really have to go in it to understand the names, but this really opened the names for me. But this is the book I'm using for the second time, only for the sequence, not for the information that they've given. It's really nice, but I find it, the English is very, the words that are used are like, words that I have to look up the dictionary. They're not a common man language. So for example, it says Ya Rahman and Ya Rahim. These two appellations encapsulate the vast expanse of Allah's boundless mercy, wherein He extends His benevolence to all the creation, nurturing and sustaining them without discrimination. Furthermore, they signify the unique and intimate compassion reserved solely for the faithful, both in the temporal realm and the realm beyond, enveloping them in divine grace and favor. Now, for me, this is really a lot to take in, and there's a fragmentation of words for my brain personally. So I'm not taking the description, I'm just reading it to you guys. Maybe it means something to you. Now, what's really, really important is that Ar-Rahman is mentioned 57 times in Quran, and Ar-Rahim is mentioned 123 times. So 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is a beautiful feminine energy. Feminine energy means softer, nurturing energy. So Rahim is a nurturing name, a kind name, a soft and compassion, like a really, really warm hug. And I personally love this name. So for this, I've chosen a grid which is inspired by the Japanese grid. So I will teach you that. We'll do the grid first, and then I'll read the description of the name, inshallah, because then you can be working on your grid and enjoying the words as they come through. One thing we have to remember is when He says He is most forgiving, He is most forgiving when we ask for forgiveness. That is one of the things that we have to remember. He will forgive us. When He says, I'm Rahman, meaning He is constantly loving us. But for forgiveness is something that you have to make an effort to go towards Him. So Rahman is all about giving you. But forgiveness, you would have made some mistake, so that you will feel certain emotions that will lead you to Rahim. So like when you fall down, that's when you go running for your mother, right? To hug her, to be held by her. So it's kind of that kind of name that it calls you back in. So Rahman leaves you free to fly like a bird in the sky. It's vast, it's open. But Rahim brings you in like a warm hug. And I'll explain that as I go through the session. But I do want to clarify, this grid is slightly tricky. So if I am a little off somewhere, please excuse my teaching today. I had fever this morning and I had sore throat all night long, so I haven't slept. And right in the middle of the night, my feet started hurting. So I asked myself, Alamia, why is it that I am getting all these obstacles to get to where I need to? And the first thing I heard was that sometimes our body wants to move faster than our soul. And our soul is not ready to move that fast because the soul moves at a pace Allah wants it to. So to slow us down, sometimes he creates these obstacles where our body can literally not go further. So coming back, like I had to go for a trip today, and I had to make a decision saying, I can't, I literally cannot leave. And so I have to trust, not take paracetamol. I mean, take paracetamol for pain management, but also understand how forgiving am I to not keep the plan that I had? Will I be forgiving enough, like God? Will I say to myself, okay, I made a plan, I was meant to go out with family, I was choosing the family, my daughter, to give her the holidays that she deserves, but I'm unable to physically do it. What will I do? In that moment, I have to come back home to myself. My health is important. So I forgive myself for not being able to do what I promised that I planned to. But this is the will of Allah that my body is just refusing to move forward. Then I sat with this feeling going, Achha, should I do the session? But then the RahIm kept going in my head, and I said, okay, should I do the session? If I'm feeling sick, should I do the session? And what I heard was, do you wake up and see the sun every day? Do you see my rahmat every day? Just because you are in pain, is it that I'm not there with you? So will you not thank me even when you are in pain? And I thought, so just an hour, I could have very conveniently cancelled the session, and I know that the people attending wouldn't mind it at all. But to push myself forward in the path of Allah, for Allah, is still it's still pulling me up, rather than thinking, oh, I have to go for a trip so that my daughter can have a good time, my ex-husband can feel good, they made the plans, oh, we'll lose money. So I had to come back to prioritizing an hour of Allah's zikr to that trip. So the moment I said, okay, I'm going to get up, just because I'm not feeling well doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing the zikr of Allah. And so I pulled myself up saying, okay, I'm doing this for you. I come and sit down, and my compass nib gets broken. And I was like, okay, this is crazy. What is happening? I'm unable to walk. I'm limping through the whole house. I've got fever, and I'm still sitting here with my compass, and my compass snaps. And I said, Acha, what's the deal? And the reason I'm taking you through this journey is that sometimes we aren't meant to be where we want to go. So he pulls us back towards him by creating all these barriers for us to choose who and where we want to go. Where do we want to put our energy into? So if the compass is broken, what are you going to do, Hamna? Because the whole grid is based on compass. And I said, I will still worship you. Even if I have nail polish on my hands, I will still worship you. Even if I have fever, I will still worship you. So what am I doing in that? Even though my body is saying, but I'm still choosing him. And he has given me the shifa to be here and to share what I want to with you. So it's nothing to do with us. When we choose him, he will remove all the obstacles for the job that he has chosen for us, because he wants to prepare us for this. After I do this session, I'm going to go crash on the bed. And that's probably why I'm doing the session, because I'm going to get all the goodness right now. And then this goodness, all the good vibes, I'm going to go and lie down, and that will be my healing. That for today, I've done my ibadat. I have connected to Allah, I have served him. And so it's really important for us to acknowledge these spaces where we don't stop just because the world outside us wants us to stop. We keep trying our best to make Allah our priority. So having said that, we will start with the grid. Just a sheet of paper. I hope it's clear enough for you guys. If not, just let me know. Now, it is slightly complicated, so just be with me and ask me questions, and I will try to explain. So most times when I say a grid is easy, you guys think it's not easy. And when I say it's not easy, then it becomes really easy. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen today, inshallah. So just on the sheet of paper, be very grateful that Allah has given you this sheet of paper where you can express yourself and connect to Him. So expressing yourself is important, but also important is that it is Him who's allowing us to create this. For it wasn't His will, we wouldn't be able to. So using your tiny dot that you've placed on the sheet of paper, you're going to create your first horizontal line. Keep the lines a little lighter today. Just be gentle. And then with your protractor, just get your 90 degrees. I love this cross. I do have to say, I have this huge love for this cross because it's vertical and horizontal lines, and we look at them as like, just two lines up and down, but it actually reaffirms our whole connection with our Allah. Look up and you will find the balance in your life. Look up, connect to the unseen, connect to Him, and everything will be in place. So that's the whole cross for me, not Jesus' cross. That's a different cross. So I'm just creating my vertical line. Now using your compass, you're going to open your compass to 3 centimeters. So just on your ruler, you just get 3 centimeters. 3 is the number of resurrection, which means that it gives you new life. So the energy connected to 3 is all about new life. And if you think about it, 3 comes after 1 and 2. 1 is Allah, 2 is your journey with Allah, and 3 is you becoming a new person. So just placing it in the center, and I'm creating my first circle. Always try to go left and right. It's a very subtle way of connecting to your right and left brain. So once you've got that, you're going to use your vertical line where it intersects with your circle. That point, you're going to create your second circle. Where your second circle intersects on the right-hand side, there's a point here. You see this is the almond shape. There's a point here. That point is your next circle's beginning. So you're going to place your compass. Just do this. I always say this, I'm going to say it again. Please do not be too perfectly oriented. Enjoy the process rather than trying to be too perfect. Now you see where this circle that you created, the third one, intersects with your first circle this side. This tip is going to be your next point. It's very dark. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay. Again, you're going to do the same thing where this intersects with your first circle. This is called the seed of life. They say most geometry patterns start with this pattern. So it's one of the most important ones to kind of master. It's really simple, but it's slightly complicated if you can't work it out. It's just focusing on the intersections. Now, when you look at it, they're going to be these tips, this almond shape, these vertical almond shapes. This is where your tip is going to be. This is where your next point is. So you're going to place it at the point. And the same thing you're going to continue. Where the intersections happen. Please let me know if you aren't able to follow. You're only looking at the intersections and using them as your points. We're going to do this one more time. Tell me it's going okay. This is how far we've reached. For all of you, is it okay?
I'm a bit lost.
I thought, okay. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take you slowly. Okay?
Yeah.
So first we create the inside circle. Okay? The first circle was 3 centimeters.
Right.
Okay?
Mm.
Once
Yeah.
you're 3, okay, I might do it here for you. Huh? So this is your first circle.
Yeah.
This is your cross.
Right.
Is it visible?
Yes.
Not visible to me. Acha. Okay? So where this point is, one,
Yeah.
this point, okay? Using this point, you're going to create a circle.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sahi.
Where this circle intersects with your first circle, your next point intersection mein gaya humko.
Yeah.
Okay? So
Yeah.
we do another one. ये वाली सर्कल का इंटरसेक्शन विद द फर्स्ट पॉइंट आपको फिर से एक और सर्कल मिल जाएगा.
Yeah.
ठीक है? इसी तरह से ये वाला पॉइंट होगा और इस
बिल्कुल.
तरह भी आपको मिल जाएगा. ठीक है?
Got it. Yeah.
So then you have this one.
Yeah.
Excuse the terrible drawing, but you know you get
Yeah.
it. ठीक है? So यहाँ पर
Yeah.
आपके ये circles हो गए.
Yeah.
यहाँ पर एक और होना चाहिए. Anyway, so this is how you got your first layer. Now
Yeah.
there will be this almond shape
Yeah.
on every one of them. Will be this almond shape. Yeah?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
ठीक है, यहाँ पर ये वाला भी होगा.
Mm.
Can you
ठीक
see?
ठीक.
ठीक है?
ठीक.
मिला?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
ये
Yeah.
जो tip है ना, ये वाली tip. Look
सही
at
है.
all these tips.
Got it.
सही है? So one of the most beautiful things about our religion is repetition. Zikr is repeatedly remembering Allah. So when he gives you this petal, he gives you another chance to do a zikr again. Then he gives you another chance to do zikr. Then he gives you another chance to zikr. So he will never leave you in the dark. Even in the dark, you will always have a moment of zikr with him. Because in the dark, you will remember him even clearer. So zikr is just repeatedly, he gives you chances to come back to him. Okay?
Yeah.
So now these tips is going to create a circle here.
Yeah.
ठीक है?
Got it.
सही है?
सही है.
इसके बाद होगा लोटस की तरह से एक बीच में एक पतली सा वाला आया होगा.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
ठीक है? उसकी
Yeah.
टिप. The next one is उसकी टिप.
Okay.
ठीक है? So उसको जब आप follow करोगे, again the whole repetition, it will be exactly the same.
Got it.
ठीक है?
Got it.
Now, one of the things that is coming to my mind is for you to be able to ask and to say, "Okay, Hamna, I am lost," right?
Yeah.
Is what is it speaking? Is that when we are in the presence of, or we are doing things for the sake of Allah, when we turn to Allah, we're not scared to say, "I'm lost." We're not scared because we know that He's always got us. Right? So in the sense that, so if you ask me, Hamna, when I'm lost, you would first of all be so confident that Hamna will help me and not leave me behind. So your confidence in your friendship and in knowing that Hamna mujhe nahi chhodegi allows you to feel safe because you trust that Hamna will guide you. इसी तरह से That shows your relationship with Allah. I'm not scared to tell Allah I am lost or I'm broken or I've made a mistake. Forgiveness is connected to that. When we feel safe in Allah's presence, we say to Him, we become vulnerable and we say, I really need your help because I have messed up. I cannot move forward. Nobody needs to know this, but for you to be able to have communication with Him, you have to have that relationship with Him. And for that, you need zikr. Huh? One year.
Oh, to show her.
Hello, Ramesa.
Oh, did you just
Assalamu alaikum.
She's Walaikum salam go.
Walaikum salam.
Who are you, cutie? How are you?
Good.
She's sat here with me trying to do this, so I'm trying
Oh.
to do mine and hers at the same time.
Aha. Are you getting it, Ramesa?
No.
No. Just scribble on mom's then.
Where are we? So we've got the middle one and then we've got the second one. Okay, I think I'm with you. I'm just going to catch Ramesa up now.
Okay, you do that. Sarah, so far okay?
Yep, got
Okay,
it.
so now you see there is this patla wala petal here, right? When you look at all the patla wala petal, it creates a intersection point here.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, those are going to be our points.
Oh, I think I've already done those.
Hey, see? See, once he's got you, you don't have to wait for anybody.
Oh,
छोटी छोटी चीजों से वो हमसे बात करता है अगर हम उसकी बात सुनने के लिए तैयार हो he's always talking to us so we have to open ourselves to saying okay hang on बना तो मैं सिर्फ एक फूल पत्ती और पेपर पे एक सर्कल हूँ but इसके थ्रू अल्लाह मुझसे कैसे बात कर सकता है right how is he talking to me through this when I'm concentrating it on this and doing it for Allah then how can this be my conversation with him? And everything is a conversation with him if you wanted to. So, oops.
HUMNA managed to do it as well.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. I'm especially proud of because I know not only that you have Hadi with you, but also the fact that I know that you find this a little.
I used to find it a little tricky, but I feel like taking slow steps and moving one step at a time has
Love it.
allowed me to move more swiftly. I feel like when I've done it in the past, where this particular visual is being created, I'm not always in focus and concentrating. So that has shifted for me, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I just remember you guys, I need to put my charger. Otherwise, किसी भी second हम मर सकते हैं. Which is the fact of life, but never mind. Okay, ठीक है? Now, this part is slightly complicated, मगर हम बहुत आहिस्ता जाएंगे, ठीक है? So, see your vertical line. This is your vertical line. Keep your eyes on the vertical line, ठीक है? Right below the vertical line is going to be this little flower का internal section, ठीक है? Mark this point. इनको join करके we have to get our horizontal line. These 2 points. Okay? So we're going to get a horizontal line using these 2 points. And this is what it will look like. ठीक है?
Yeah.
Now I want you to see, we're going to create a triangle here. ठीक है? And for that, look at the top tip. ये center है आपका? This is your center? This flower, just the top part, this one. This is the center wala circle. Center wala point, the first point you created. Just right above it on your vertical line will be another intersection where all the petals connect. Okay? You're going to create a line using these 2 points. I'll do it neatly. Now notice that this is your brain getting activated. Okay, this is your logic getting activated. This is your desire to be perfect getting activated. So this is what it looks like. This point and this point. This point and this point. When you connect them, there will be a line that cuts through.
The line can be how you want it, right? Like, so I've not stretched mine out like yours, or does that need to be that way?
No, it needs to be stretched out till the end here.
Okay.
Because I said under ka triangle, yeah, but we need these lines on the outside for the pattern to come.
Okay.
Okay. It's actually really fun. Once we get to it, you'll be like, oh my God, kahan se chal ke aana pada? Like, you know, when you say the journey of removing all the blocks and getting to light, this is exactly that. And then we're going to create, as you can see, that you'll be able to create a straight triangle here using the other side. जब हम line बनाएंगे, तो एक triangle बनेगा. Now you see, when you remember that the one protecting you, the one guiding you, the one holding you is your Allah, you come home to Him. Regardless of कितनी भी बारिश हो, कितना भी storm हो, कितनी भी मुश्किल हो, कितनी भी आपकी गाड़ी में आप ट्रैफिक में फंस जाएं 2 घंटे 4 घंटे 6 घंटे, where do you go back to? Home. So you'll always come back home. And this is your home. When you are with Allah, you are safe, you are protected, and you are provided for. Everything is given to you inside this circle, inside this triangle. Okay? Now, we're going to create exactly the same thing, but from the top side. So using these two, now look at this is your horizontal, first horizontal line. Look up. Look on the top side, you'll find 2 flowers again. One here, one here. Now you're going to connect this line and create a horizontal line. That's why I told you guys the story of me being unwell. I said to Alamia, because it's so complicated, will I be able to deliver it? And what I heard was, that's the whole point, Humna. If you make a mistake, will you be able to forgive yourself? Do you know that you are going in a space where the people there, will they forgive you for making a mistake? And I was so sure, of course they will. And that's what made me want to come here. So when we know we will be accepted with all our mistakes, all our faults, all our like, bukhar ho, kuch bhi ho, you'll still hug me, makes me feel safe to deliver because I know that you guys will understand if I made a mistake. And these are like little nuggets I just throw in for life experiences, by the way. So we've created this horizontal line. Okay so far?
Yeah.
And using this horizontal line, we're now going to create our triangle. So this point, I'll hold my pencil here, this point, and this point. The line will come here, through and through. And notice, you've just made a triangle that goes upwards and a triangle that goes downwards. Which symbolizes that when you were up in the sky, who did you belong to? Allah. When you were down below on this earth, who do you belong to? Allah. So when you remember that you belong to Allah, you automatically let go of fear, you let go of worries, you let go of everything, because He's reminding you He is Ya Rahim, which means I'll always, always hug you. I will always, always love you. I will always, always hear you, see you, be with you. No matter you are on earth, no matter you are in heaven, I am always with you. So the triangle looks upwards and the triangle looks downward. Now we're going to repeat exactly the same thing and keep creating these triangles. So now look carefully. There is a line that goes from here to here. This is the flower, this is the triangle, this is the point. I'm going to hold it just so that it's easier for you all to see. I'm drawing a rough line so that you all can see. We just have to keep finding the triangles in this. No matter what mistake you make, no matter what mistake you make, he's got you. So no amount of sin can hold you back from your Allah. So notice how we went up and we came down. Who's lost?
I'm good for now. I think I just started looking at the width of the first central point
Yes.
and the side one. I was like, how come that's thinner and that one's thicker?
Yes. Can you see where it's coming? This one, okay? So it goes up and then it goes down. And to complete it, we're going to use this horizontal line. Remember, we have to have a triangle. So फिर हमारा फिर से horizontal line बन जाएगा.
Yeah, Humna, I think if you move with us, like step by step, I think it's a lot more easier to follow. So I'm good with it for now.
Okay. Now the same triangle we made going upwards, we have to come down with the same energy, right? So we're going to look carefully where our down triangle was and find our spots to create our down triangle line. It's literally, if you notice, they come in a pattern. It's really, really fun when you're able to find it. So we go like this, and we turn and we find the spots. Equal distance. The lines will always come like at equal distance. Sarah, Afshin, you're okay?
Yep.
Okay. So then we're going to go with our, if you see carefully, this was our center dot, right? So we've gone up here now. So if you notice, this part will connect to this part. So we'll get our horizontal line on this side for that triangle. So notice there are these triangles, they are being built inside. वो कोई भी situation हो, कोई भी sin हो, कोई भी mistake हो, कितने भी steps हो that you have taken away from Allah, even in those steps, you were protected. So the triangle is a symbol of His protection always. And when I say protection, I'm actually meaning that His forgiveness. Okay? Now, if you notice, there was a little star inside here. Or you can't see the star, it's okay also. But there's a bigger star now that comes out here. So what are we doing? We're expanding the stars. पहले छोटा star था, पहले वो हमें अपने घर लेकर आया. When he brought us home in our heart, in our soul, he connected to us, to all his names, to Quran, to everything. He gave, sent us his messenger. He reminded us of who we are, the person that we are, the human being, the body is the circle, and the star inside is the light that he placed in us, meaning our ruh. Okay? When we connect it to our heart, that light within us expands. So the triangles, his protection, when we feel safe with him, we expand ourselves. We create ourselves as what he chooses us to be. So I'm going to go one more step further and create the next triangle. So this is going to be, if you look carefully, you'll be able to see कि वही distance से लाइनें बनती जाएंगी. So just join the lines. I won't go too fast because I just don't want to lose you. So the same thing, left and right. And then look carefully for the same distance for your bottom base of the triangle. So the horizontal line. I'll bring it up to show you. We just created this line using these two spots. We got our this line. Do you guys know what daldal is? Like a quicksand. जब आप कोई गलती करते हैं, so the one thing that happens is you keep going down and down and down. This is, imagine like when we are building this grid at the moment, we are literally going down. We have shoulders पे हमारा sin है, हमारी mistake है, हमारी कोताही है, हमारी weakness है. ये सारी चीजें हम add on कर रहे हैं, right? फिर हम इसमें से अल्लाह की रोशनी निकालने वाले हैं. So just keep that in mind, that we are going deeper and deeper and deeper into quicksand. So we did our down wala, now we need to do the up wala triangle. I think we need to have the base also. So just going with the up triangle, aligning these two parts. Yeah. Can you see the rhythm that is building?
Yeah, so it's like the diamonds and then they hog, they come triangles.
Yes, yes, yes. So you know the diamond only gets created when the top and the bottom are there. You can't have a diamond because it will be just a triangle otherwise, right? A diamond is only created when you recognize your ruh and your body. So I'm literally just continuing doing that, creating the triangles using the intersections, okay? Just notice the intersections. जहाँ जहाँ intersection आ रही है वहाँ को उसको align करके we're making the lines. And just on my last one, so एक horizontal line आएगी और एक दो cross lines होंगी. I'll give you the name also. I can't pronounce the name properly of this pattern, but it's actually inspired by hemp, the plant hemp. HEMP, hemp.
How did that inspire you, Humna?
Well, I wanted something, when I read the text, you'll be able to hear it, but I wanted something that activates all our senses. And the one thing that I kept going to is plants. We can touch them, we eat them, we see them, we learn from them. So I wanted all the five senses to be awakened. And so I wanted the grid to be a representation of something that is connected to nature, to a plant. And so when I looked up sacred geometry for plants, this pattern just kind of came up, and I thought, ooh, it's taking me in. So when I practiced it myself, I realized it shows me कि हम कितनी दुनिया की जब झंझटों में फंस जाते हैं, this is how we feel. This is where we are. And most times Shaitan wants us to just stay in this place. I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. Oops, I've done this too. You know, and he wants you to go deeper and deeper into the dunya and start seeing yourself through the eyes of, you know, bad daughter, bad wife, bad blah, you've done this, so you've become this and you're this, you know, like all these. You see how congested it looks? There's one line that's missing, which needs to go from the center here. So I'm just going to create that. You'll be able to see the pattern. You'll be able to see the line, and you'll be like, oh, yahan par ye line missing hai, because it automatically shows. Now, seeing the sheet of paper, I personally feel overwhelmed. Is there anybody else who feels overwhelmed? कि इसमें क्या मिलने वाला है? Right? Shaitan wants us to feel this. He wants us to be in this space. कि अल्लाह नहीं माफ करने वाला, तुम तो इतनी बड़ी गुनहगार हो, तुम्हें कैसे अल्लाह माफ करेगा? Right? So he wants us to just stop at this point. Now we're going to find out, जब हम अल्लाह की तरफ मुड़ते हैं, जब हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ उस पर फोकस करते हैं और हम अपनी सारी गलतियों को ओन करते हैं, ये गंद मैंने फैलाया है, इस गंद को साफ करना, अगर रायता गिराया है आपने टेबल पर, तो आप ही उस रायते को साफ कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज आप ही को दिया गया था वो रायता ताकि आप उसको गिराएं और अपने गंद को समझें और फिर उसको साफ करें. Now this is your raita, right? Now with this raita, we're going to go towards Allah. You're going to create your hexagon. मैं नजदीक लाती हूँ पेपर को so you guys can see. Go towards your left edge. Okay, the left edge. This point, there's a line, this point, where the circles are. I'm going to make it a little bit darker. You don't have to, but मेरे को visually ज़रा समझ आ जाएगा. So I'm going to make it slightly darker, ठीक है? It's this line. It's the outside lines that I am literally just connecting to create a hexagon. You know, when we started the session, we said, oh, Nadia said I couldn't express, and Sarah said, you know, there was somewhere I was, and now my daughter says, this is who I am. This things that we carry, we wear on jackets and clothes of other people's fears and problems, and so we get buried underneath it. And the only way to find our way back to our heart is by connecting to him and recognizing कि ये सब मैं ही हूँ, ये सब मेरे अल्लाह ने मुझे ही दिया था. All the experiences I went through, like we spoke, that it is only that you weren't able to express because there was so much for you to learn how to express. You had to lose yourself to find yourself. So Allah allowed you to lose yourself to create all this so that you can find Allah even in this. In this mess, we are going to find light. Now, there's one last step that we have to do. If you look carefully, we have a vertical line, right? There's a vertical line that is inside here. Now, when you see all the lines, there's a certain pattern to it. Magar vertical line nahi bani hamari. But if we use the intersections of these tiny small diamonds that you see, you'll be able to get a vertical line at equal distance when you align the tips of the diamonds. The inside diamond, छोटे छोटे जो हैं, उनको जब आप गौर से देखेंगे, so you'll be able to create vertical lines at equal distances. So we're just going to do that on both sides, left and right. So far, we're still losing our, sorry. So far, we're still using our logic. We still haven't used our intuition yet, okay? Or you are using intuition by looking at the pattern, but we are now going to start using our intuition. To find our light, we have to connect to Allah through our heart. और अल्लाह से कनेक्शन हार्ट के थ्रू तभी होता है जब हम अपने कान दुनिया से बंद कर लें, अपनी आंखें दुनिया से शट कर लें और अपने आप को उसके हवाले कर दें और उसकी बात उसके इल्हाम से सुने. जैसे revelation happened through the ears, through the intuition. Huzur Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not receive papers coming from the sun or the sky, you know, with Quran written on it. The whole of Quran was revealed through his hearing, meaning through his internal heart's healing. Qalbul ain, उनकी अंदर की दिल की आंख खोली गई थी, जिसकी वजह से उनको क्लियरली अल्लाह की बात सुनाई देती थी और वो बात को उन्होंने कैप्चर किया अल्लाह के हुक्म से into Quran. So far, everybody's okay.
I'm just doing the vertical lines now.
ठीक है. We're going to start finding light in this, right? Ashina, आप finish करोगे तो बताना. I'm going to do it with my ink pen so it becomes visible, okay? So this is totally up to you if you want to do that too, but you don't have to. I'm bringing the sheet close. Oh, I'll wait for you, sorry.
It's an interesting shape, isn't it? The hexagon, it reminds you of the honeycomb and the bee.
Yes, it is. You know, and it's one of the most solidest shape in matter. When you study the forms of solid, तो solid, सबसे ज़्यादा solid, सबसे ज़्यादा ताकतवर shape that holds is that shape. And something so tiny, something so little, like a bee, teaches us about that shape, you know. And it also makes us wonder कि knowledge हमें कहीं से भी मिल सकती है जहाँ से वो चाहे. हम कहते हैं यूनिवर्सिटी ये वाली जाएंगे तो oh will become this, or you know prestigious university will give the child the option to be like you know in the prestigious whatever. You can go to a कोने वाला school, you know. Huzur Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam didn't go to a school even, and yet he had the knowledge of the universe. For whoever Allah chooses to bless you with knowledge, He can bless you with school or without school. So we have made schooling and knowledge all about prestige, and you know, the more books you read, the more you are intellectual, the more you can talk to people. But maybe you don't have that. Doesn't mean you won't be able to gain knowledge. If Allah wants to open His doors for knowledge to you, then He will.
Okay, I'm with you. Thank you for waiting.
Okay, so I'm going to start one shape at a time. So you can take your pencil and you can start doing it. Dropped her. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'll bring it to the screen so you're able to see कि मैं क्या बना रही हूँ. It's just this triangle on the top. And then its next is this. Even though you had created a mess, He still left the light in you. And when you start seeing the light, meaning the stars, meaning that ruh that you have that comes from the sky, all the other mess loses its value. वो सब फेड हो जाती है. क्योंकि आपका फोकस आपकी रोशनी पर हो जाता है, उसकी रोशनी पर हो जाता है जो आपके अंदर होती है. I'm going to go for another one.
Hamna, I just wanted to make a point. So your shape is a pentagon and mine is a hexagon. So I was like, oh, it looks different. So just in case Afshin and Sarah are thinking, so my star is a little bit different. I just thought I'd point that out.
Nadia, I'm
interesting.
with you. Mine is a hexagon as well. I don't know how she got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but my lines are all off.
It's okay. See,
No.
the thing.
Yeah, I was
thing
just
is-
thinking that, you know, Hamna's created a pentagon. So in case someone's like, I was thinking, why is my star not centralized? Because of course my lines are different.
Ah. But it's funny that I taught it as I did what I taught, but for you to receive the shape that you had to receive. Isn't that cool? Like, it's so cool. Like, a teacher could be teaching the lesson, but what you take out of it is completely based on what you take out of it.
Alhamdulillah. I just needed to say that.
Yeah. So tell me, your star has how many points?
One moment, let me count.
ठीक है, मुझे बताना because nothing in the universe is a coincidence. So your piece is actually saying something about where you are in connection to your star.
So mine has 6, same as yours.
हाँ, तो फिर difference क्या है?
It has 6 points, but I think where it's placed is different.
अच्छा, okay.
But I'm okay with that. I'm just about, alhamdulillah, managing this with movement. This grid is being created in different rooms as I follow my son around.
Allah, mashallah, Nadia. It's him who is holding you and saying कि मुझे पता है तुम्हारे लिए मुश्किल है. Like exactly like how I'm saying that he knows that the effort we are making, he always says it's never about the result. It's all about the effort. I'm going to see कि मैं तुम्हारे लिए अगर मुश्किलें लाता हूँ, तुम नहीं कर पा रही हो, क्या फिर भी तुम मेरे लिए करोगी? And you say, yes, I will. I was telling my daughter this. मेरा पेट में ये है, मेरे वो है, मैं बहाने अगर करने निकलूं, I can have 10,000 reasons to say, you know what, let's just cancel this and I'll just go and see a movie. It'll calm my nerves. Because that's what we've been taught, to run away from, like, not make Allah the priority. हाँ मुश्किल है, हाँ वक्त नहीं निकलता, हाँ नहीं सब कुछ है, but वक्त देने वाला कौन है? वो. So how can you not, like, just because you're sick, you think that's an excuse to not worship Allah? Allah did not say कि आप जब sick होते हो तो मैं आपको खाना नहीं दूंगा. So how do we take our ibadat so lightly? मुझे ये हो रहा है तो मैं ये नहीं कर पाऊंगी. How do we take Allah so lightly? And why? Why does he come always after our बीमारी? मेरी बीमारी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, मेरी तकलीफ ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, मेरी वो ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. What about all the things that he is still giving me while I am sick? He's not saying कि अच्छा तुम बीमार हो तो मैं तुम्हें खाना नहीं दूंगा. He's not saying anything of that sort. So फिर मैं क्यों सोच रही हूँ उसकी इबादत करने से पहले 10 दफा कि यार आज रहने देती हूँ. क्यों रहने दूँ आज? But our upbringing is such that we say नमाज थोड़ी देर में पढ़ लेंगे, you know, चीजें बाद में कर लेंगे, अल्लाह को बाद में शुक्र कर लेंगे, पहले let's just feed my daughter, let me feed my children and then I will do namaz. How, what are we doing? Do we not see that we're putting our daughter first, our children first, our husband first, before him? पहले खाना खा लेते हैं, पहले मैं खाना बना लूं, फिर मैं ये करूं. Do we not see that वो देने वाला जो बेटी है, आपका बच्चा है, आपके हाथ हैं, आपके पाँव हैं, वो देने वाला कौन है? How can it be okay to delay our connection with him? And how long are we going to delay our connection with him? And why are we delaying our connection with him, yaar? Excuse क्या है हमारे पास? Just because मेरे पेट में दर्द है, just because मुझे बुखार है, okay? Allah could say, you know, आज मैं तुम्हें रोटी नहीं देता, आज मैं तुम्हें पानी नहीं देता, आज मैं तुम्हें खाना नहीं देता, चलो आज तुम बगैर खाने के बताओ कैसी रहोगी. He doesn't do that to us, so why do we say कि इबादत तब करूंगी जब मैं फिट होंगी? यार, who are we really fooling? If you think about it, who are we fooling? Allah? We have to ask ourselves these questions. Okay, मैंने ये कर लिया है अगर, but मैं अब नहीं करना चाहती. Help me. Help me to not put you as my second choice, but make you my first. मेरी बेटी से पहले अल्लाह है, मेरे काम से पहले अल्लाह है, मेरी सेहत से पहले अल्लाह है. मैं हूं ही ना अगर वो ना हो तो. We always say this thing, oh मुझे ये दुनिया का काम, मुझे एक अपॉइंटमेंट है तो मैं नमाज में लेट हो जाऊंगी, you know, मैं आज ये नहीं कर पाऊंगी because मुझे दुनिया का कोई काम करना है. I have to do something for whatever, whoever. We didn't choose him, but we want him to constantly choose us. Like the level of arrogance we have. And then when we are in pain and, you know, we turn to him and right away हमें response नहीं मिलता, what do? अल्लाह है भी या नहीं, पता नहीं अल्लाह मुझे प्यार करता है कि नहीं. How can we do what we do to Allah and expect his mercy, and yet he gives it to us? It's incredible. It's incredible how we constantly make him second, and yet we want to be his first. Rather, we command him to say कि, you know, तुम मेरा ख्याल रखो, तुम मुझे ये दो, तुम ही मुझे देने वाले हो. पहले हमने रिश्ता नहीं बनाया उससे, उसको सेकंड सीट पर बिठा दिया, बैक सीट पे. हाँ अल्लाह है, पर जब हमें जरूरत पड़ी तो फौरन से हम पहुंच गए कि यार तुम ही मदद करो. With the level of arrogance, like again I'm going to say this, बड़े आराम से लोग कह देते हैं अल्लाह कहाँ था जब मुझे उसकी जरूरत थी. यार अल्लाह कहाँ था जब आपने उसको उसको उसका उसको एहतराम नहीं दी. अल्लाह कोई जोक है क्या? So when we own that, we stop saying, oh, I didn't do because of this and because of that and because of this. We recognize the power he is, the constant things that he is giving us. I'm going to read the download. Now you can play with this piece as you choose. What this piece represents is we go on a journey into the muddy waters. We go into the dunya where we are told to do this line, this line, this line, get married, serve your man, be good to your parents. All of these things, you know, you take care of your in-laws, you're in resentment, you're regretting it, you're killing yourself, your health is going bad. You disown, you disrespect your whole body, your whole being, and you constantly choose these lines. And over a period of time, these lines overtake you. They start defining you. These roles that you play start saying this is who you are, and you can't even recognize who you truly are because you're wearing all of these masks. You're serving all these people. So of course, if you're serving your idols, you are going to be like your idols, right? Your friends are your idols, your ego is your idol, your education is मुझे ये पढ़ना, मुझे यहाँ पहुँचना, मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे वो चाहिए. Constantly needing, wanting, needing, wanting. What about what Allah has already given you in your ruh? When do you come back home to him? when he closes all the doors, when he reminds you कि भाई आप बहुत दूर चले गए हैं, आप गन में बहुत नीचे चले गए, काफी अंधेरा हो गया है. You have done enough damage to the body I have given you. You have done enough insulting that my ruh has. It's not your ruh. You belong to me, and to me you shall return. Means the ruh, the body, the being, the whole of you belongs to him. So once you reach a place where your body can take no more, he will not tolerate crap. He will not leave you in situations where you are insulted, because it's not you, it is him getting insulted. For you have allowed your ego mind, your society, all of these lines have told you this is how you need to be, so you follow this. And Allah is saying to you, you have to follow this light. You have to follow the star inside you. I am the one giving you the direction from the inside. The light is here. The light is with me. I am the one holding this light. So till you start recognizing the stars, till you start recognizing your being as divine being, as his being, आप अपने खुद भी नहीं है. When people say to me, मेरी टांग में दर्द हो रहा है, मेरे हाथ में दर्द, we have to ask ourselves, ये बॉडी पार्ट किसका है, किसको वापस जाएगा, किसने दिया है. और अगर उस पाँव में दर्द हो रही है या मुझे बुखार हो रहा है, hang on, it is my fault that I did not take care of it. I have been doing too much, so my body, poor thing, is just saying I'm tired. I'm just tired of you keeping me in spaces where people are insulting me, draining me. Allah has said, move away from people who hurt you. He has given you the right, the liberty, the choice to not be a slave of the society. And yet again we do. But what does Allah do? Nothing. He's RahIm. He brings you back to your light. Now it's up to you if you continue seeing the lines or you start seeing the stars. You start seeing yourself belonging to the world to follow the rules and regulations and whatever the hell people have told you that you need to be. It's up to you. Now he's made the path clear to you. Sirat al-Mustaqim. He's made it conscious. He's given you the awareness. अब आप क्या करेंगे? अब आप इसी दलदल में बैठे रहेंगे या पेंसिल से इरेज करेंगे उन चीजों को? क्योंकि या तवाब है ना वो. He says, I forgive in a way like the sin never even happened when you repent to me sincerely. जब आप अपने गन साफ करने के लिए तैयार हो जाएंगे, उसको बोलेंगे मुझे दिखा, मुझे वो लोग भेज, मुझे वो रास्ते दिखा जिस रास्ते से चल के मैं तेरी तरफ आऊं. His stars will become so loud, so clear that through your ears you will hear light. Through the mouth, you will speak light. Through your body, you will absorb light. You will become your ruh and your body will be behind it. And that is called the light activation of your being. You can Google it if you want. It is called the light body activation. And all the Western people speak about these things. And this is Allah who has already taught us everything, yeah. But we were waiting for the Western civilization to come up with all these spiritual concepts, and they teach us about the 7 chakras. We don't recognize that it's already in Quran. And then somebody will turn around to me and say, oh, Hamna, where's the 7 chakras? He says, go to China if you have to for knowledge. So Chini kya pad kar rahe the? वो 7 chakras kahan se aa rahe hain? Anything that makes you understand your own self, which is the creation of Allah, which brings you closer to yourself, which makes you value who you are, is from Allah. Knowledge could not appear into this world if it wasn't His will. It is His will that you and I can even read and write. If He didn't want us to, we had no capability to read and write. Now you can do your doodle however you choose, and I'm going to read this. And this is really, I really hope I will record it and share it on my YouTube so you can hear it later on in many times, to be reminded of who Ya Rahim is. And I'm telling you guys, aaj tak aapki whatever understanding of Ya Rahim thi, it's over and out. This will completely shift you, and you will feel so grateful in every single cell of your body of who Ya Rahim really is. So this is not coming from a book. This is not coming from anywhere. This is completely coming through my intuition. And I want you to really connect it to your soul, because that's where it's going to sit now. So this is your light body activation. So I want you to just calm yourselves, do whatever it is that you're doing, and let it be holding you, inshallah. When you're doing these pieces, try not to think or overthink, right? Try go within to your heart. कौन सा color डालूं, क्या बनाऊं, क्या दिखेगा, क्या नहीं दिखेगा, इन सवालात को थोड़ी देर के लिए आप हटा दीजिए. आपका हाथ, आपका जिस्म उसका है. Let his love come through you. आप एक पेन है, इंक उसने आप में डाली है, पकड़ा हुआ वो पेन उसने है. आपके जिस्म को, आपके हाथ को उसने पकड़ा हुआ है. See what he allows you to create, not what you want to create. ये अच्छा लग रहा है, ये बुरा लग रहा है. Don't go into judgments. Let the patterns come as they need to and want to. Ya Rahim, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I sat with myself to understand Ya Rahim from not what the books tell me, but how I feel myself when I sit with Ya Rahim. The free-flowing mercy for all. This is a sentence in a book. It says free-flowing mercy for all, Ya Rahim. What does it truly mean? His mercy is free and flowing for all. Meaning his mercy is not only for me and you, not for people who believe in him and not for people who do not believe in him. His mercy is free and flowing for all. Every creation, every being, every plant, everything in the universe receives his mercy, which is free for everybody and flowing for everybody. Now you go deeper into the understanding of what he's saying when he says free and flowing. Meaning it is not something you have to give back in exchange, like forgiveness for forgiveness. It's not business transaction. It's free. I'm just giving it to you. That's Rahim. I'm just giving you mercy. I don't need your mercy. I don't need you to do anything. I don't need you for nothing. He is Rahim. He is giving you mercy for free. Nothing in return. Right? It's not a business transaction. Allah Mia, you forgive me my one sin, I will do 10 rakats. Or I will give food. We have all these, whatever it is that you want to think about it. That's your good deeds. That's separate. It's not like your maafi depends on that. Right? Allah is giving you his mercy free of charge. What's the other word? Flowing. Flowing. It's always flowing to you. Matlab, it's constant. Meaning it's always reaching you. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, it's there for you to receive. Matlab ek katora bhar kar, wo aapke liye rakhi hui hai. It's always there. It's constant. You don't have to be at a place or a time, be wearing a hijab or not wearing a hijab or, sleeping, awake, eating, dancing, whatever it is that you are doing. The mercy of Allah is constantly flowing towards you, no matter who you are, where you are, doing whatever you are. His mercy is on, like a tap of flowing water, that's just constant. So 2 words, free and flowing for all. It also tells us when he says for all, it means that it's not like he loves me more or he loves you more or he loves all the people who say La ilaha illallah more, or he's not saying I am Rahim only for those who believe in me. He very clearly says, I am Rahim for all. So it also teaches us how we need to respect Allah's creation. So there's so many people are coming from my society or my culture or whatever. There's always this thing, when people have tattoos or they don't wear the right clothes, so they'll be wearing like really skimpy clothes. But this person's heart is of gold, right? And their body is filled with tattoos. So we, being the judgmental kind, will look at these people and go, what's with them? Look what they've done to your body. Allah has mercy on them also. So we are not anybody to look at them with judgment, to say they've done the right thing or the wrong thing. Allah is for them, with them also. It is His choice who He wants to guide and not guide. So it teaches us, Rahim teaches us to be forgiving, not only towards yourself, but towards all the others. And be reminded that Allah's mercy, meaning His rahmat, His Rahim, is always free. It's always free and it's always flowing for you, to you. Now, when you think of these things that remind you of those things, so what is free and what is flowing? You think about it. अच्छा, दुनिया में, creation में, आपके इतराफ जो चीजें हैं, उनमें से क्या-क्या चीजें free हैं और flowing है? Flowing towards you, anywhere that you are, with anybody. मतलब क्या हुआ कि ये छुपी हुई चीजें नहीं है, ये जो मर्सी है उसकी, ये कहीं छुपा कर बिस्तर के नीचे से एक हाथ से दी और दूसरे को पता नहीं लगी, ऐसी नहीं है. उसकी मर्सी सब पर है, सबके लिए है, and it's not hidden, it's not like it's exposed, it's open and it's constant. मतलब वो हर जगह है. Allah's mercy is exposed for all to see, hear, smell, taste, and do. Remember I said 5 senses hai hamare? Allah's mercy is exposed for all to see, hear, smell, taste, and do. Allah's mercy is also constant for all to see, hear, smell, taste, and do. When we make a mistake, it is a mercy of Allah that He doesn't shut down our senses. Hear this very carefully. You are in the middle of the worst part of your life. Did you stop tasting food? Did you stop seeing flowers? Did you stop blinking your eyes? You're crying, you're sad, you're in the miserablest place that you can be. You've committed a sin and you are really, really, really sorry about it. Ask yourself, does He shut down your senses when you commit a sin towards ourselves or others? We don't stop smelling the flowers. We don't stop seeing the sun or the sky and its magnificent colors. आपने तो sin commit किया है, आपने तो गलती की है, आपने इतनी बड़ी mistake कर दी. आपको फिर भी आसमान नजर आ रहा है, आपको चिड़िया उड़ती हुई नजर आ रही है, आपकी नाक में खूबसूरत सी स्मेल भी जा रही है, आप टेस्ट कर पा रहे हैं, बैठ रहे हैं, उठ रहे हैं. Because you committed a sin, should you not be punished? We commit a sin, a mistake that doesn't block our senses. We still have them working when we are sad, lost, broken. Have you ever wondered why Allah would do that? आपके मुंह का मजा क्यों नहीं ले लिया उसने as a punishment? आपके हाथ में पेंसिल पकड़े आप वो ले लेता, आपकी बात करने की सलाहियत ले लेता, आपके खाने की सलाहियत ले लेता, कुछ भी कर सकता था ना, क्योंकि बॉडी उसकी है. जब आपने अपनी बॉडी को अब्यूज किया, सिन कमिट किया, तो क्या नहीं है वो जो नहीं कर सकता था, वो सब कुछ कर सकता था. So when you make a mistake or a sin and doesn't say now you will never be able to sense, He doesn't say that you will never be able to sense the softness of the grass when you walk on my earth, or you'll never be able to smell the freshness of the air after the rain, or see the many beautiful shapes of clouds or flowers or animals. You have committed a sin and made a mistake. You won't be able to enjoy eating oranges ever again. Does he ever say that? Or never be able to taste pomegranates. Or because of your sin, now you can never enjoy water or cakes or whatever else that you really, really enjoy. Even after we have committed a sin or a mistake, his mercy is constant and free. Remember, he said, flowing to us, and it is free. आपको सुनने के पैसे नहीं लगते, आपको देखने के पैसे नहीं लगते, आपको टेस्ट करने के पैसे नहीं देने होते. It's free. Your tongue being able to taste food is free, and it's constant. We can freely sense through all our senses, and we can do that constantly, can we not? It's not like a punishment because of our sins, our eyesight will vanish. मैंने कोई गंदी मूवी देख ली, X-rated मूवी देख ली, मैंने कुछ गंदगी देख ली, किसी को कुछ कर लिया, मेरी आंखें ले लेता है वो क्या? Does he vanish my eyesight? Or our sense of smell would disappear. Suddenly, I'd not be able to smell anything. Or we won't be able to taste or hear Quran. क्या ऐसा होता है जब हम कोई गलती करते हैं तो suddenly he shuts off our hearing so that we can never hear the things that are healing to us, the songs or anything, any stuff that could heal us. He could just suddenly take all of that away, right? He could block all our senses till we got back on track. Isn't that how people punish you? Take away the one thing you need just so that they can punish you and remind you how bad you have behaved for them. ऐसा होता है ना बचपन में, like so many times we as mothers also and grown-ups also, we say, ये मैं तुमसे ले लूंगी. You have so much power because you punish the other person because they're lower than you, they're weaker than you, because they did not behave in the way that you wanted them to behave. So you say, मैं तुम्हारी ये चीज खत्म कर दूंगी. I'm not going to give you cookies anymore because you've lied. Or I'm not going to iron your clothes because, you've not been doing your chores. Whatever it is. So we punish. We punish other people. And we have been punished. How many times has it been that you've made a mistake and your mother said, "Na, मैं तुमसे बात नहीं करूंगी और कल के चले जाओ कमरे से बात करने की जरूरत नहीं. Don't talk to me." How many times have you done that? Allah, the Rahim, doesn't do any such thing. Even after we commit the sin, the biggest sins that we can think about, we are still able to hear, see, smell, touch, taste. And on top of that, on top of all of these senses that he still allows free and flowing to us, for us, what does he have that he's given us? Our intuition, our sixth sense. Now, how many times have you said, I feel this is going to happen? A premonition, or I don't think this person is good for me. I don't think we need to go there because something bad will happen. I don't think we need to do whatever it is. Your intuition, your gut guides you. How many times have you sabotaged, abandoned, rejected your intuition that he gifted you? And that intuition was the gift of Ya Rahim to you. Why would Allah do that? Why would he give us our senses freely and constantly? Because it is through them you can taste the food he has blessed you with that will remind you of who your provider is. Through the smell of the beautiful aromas that your nose can still smell, you will be reminded of him and his essence in all that is. And so you will be grateful for his presence even when you can't see him, but you can feel him. Through your eyes, he shows you all the creations, their perfection, as they perform his zikr and praise of him for all his protection, for all he is protecting. Through the food that you taste, He knows, he shows us who is the one and only provider for us. By gifting us intuition, he heals and guides us so we can turn to repent and ask for his forgiveness. Now imagine if you didn't have the six senses. Imagine you commit a sin and boom, you shut down. What is it that will take you back to him? Through all of your senses, he blesses us a doorway, a path to be reminded of all that surrounds us and is with us, is from him. It is through these senses that we are able to reconnect with himself and be reminded of who he is to us. Everything that you're surrounded by, everything that is within you, that what you see, if that was taken away, how will you be reminded of Allah? And so even when you make a mistake, a sin, he allows you to have all your senses, so that, look at his love, look at his mercy, so that through these senses that you can return to him. Each sense was given for you to come home to him and know that the entire universe that we can witness from our senses was created for us. He loves us. And so he gives us our senses so that you can be reminded to ask for repentance. So we say, oh, okay, I've made a mistake, but I can still see movies. It still helped me to get out of a bad phase or whatever, to forgive myself. And I say, thank you, Allah Mia, that you didn't take my eyes away, because as a punishment you could if you wanted to, but you're still giving me the chance to see and calm my nerves through hearing meditative music. You're still giving me friends. You're still giving me love around in my world. Through that love, you are reminded that, you know what, Allah, I actually made a mistake. I made a mistake, so I ask for your forgiveness. Through your senses, I'm still able to smell the beautiful candle that is burning in this room. Wow, thank you, Allah, for allowing me to smell this. And be reminded that even though I can't see you, I can feel you, I can sense you in my being. And it's me who forgot. It's me who forgot that who you are, and that I made the mistake and I committed the sin. It is me. So your senses bring you back home to yourself so that you are reminded, if it wasn't for him, you couldn't smell. So when he's giving you the power, the strength, or the whatever nose buds to smell, why is he doing that? So that you can be reminded of who your Allah is. And through that, smell, taste, food, whatever it is, you come back home. You say, you know what? I made a mistake. Our senses, so that we can be reminded to ask for repentance and know that when you value yourself as his creation, meaning you value your senses, you will be what will make you do the zikr. And through that zikr, your good deeds will increase and bad ones will be reduced. So for example, you've done something really bad, you have guilt, you ask for forgiveness, while you are doing this, you are still having people cook food for you. There's food in the fridge, there's still cake coming in the house. And so when you eat the cake, you taste the food, which is absolutely delicious. Through that tasting, he's telling you, you could not taste if I didn't want you to. And the reason you are tasting is that I am blessing you with that sense. Now, all the six senses, imagine all of them are always there, free and flowing and constant for you. So is that not a remembrance of Ya Rahim? That through every single sense, you are going to be now doing zikr of Allah. You will be remembering Allah. Oh, I can touch this, I can hold this, I can draw this, I can taste this, I can smell this, I can hear this, I can see this, I can sense this. Through all of that remembrance, the zikr that you do, your good deeds will increase because you will connect it to Allah. You'll say, it is Him who is giving me this beautiful sense of smell, and that is why I'm able to come back home to Him. So your good deed increases, and what happens to the bad ones? You don't even know. And His free mercy reduces your bad deeds. Just by you acknowledging your senses, your 5, 6 senses, just by acknowledging that and remembering Allah through them, your good deeds increase. What does that really mean? Ya Rahim, as His mercy, gave you these senses that your body feels: the shame, the regret, the grief, the sadness, the anger, the resentment, the rejection, the abandonment, the sabotage, all of this, the senses that you have, the feelings, the emotions, everything, the betrayal, everything that happens. If somebody was bad to you and it didn't hurt you, you didn't feel anything, you were a robot and you were dead, you had no senses to feel anything. If you're not going to feel anything, how are you going to feel alive? How are you going to be grateful for life itself? He calls himself Rahim because he knew we would make mistakes. Hazrat Adam alayhi salam was in Jannat. He had everything, absolutely everything he could ever imagine. He slipped in Jannat. Do you really understand that in Jannat, he was with Allah? He was in the presence of Allah. Did Hazrat Adam alayhi salam not know that Allah is all watching, all hearing, all knowing, all seeing? For you remember that the only time the sajda was done to Hazrat Adam alayhi salam by the whole kainat of angels was only and only when he knew the names of Allah. So Hazrat Adam very clearly knew who Allah is. Allah is all watching. They were in Jannat where everything was provided, everything was available. Yet he slipped. Does Hazrat Adam alayhi salam not see beauty all around him? Like, do you think his eyes were shut? Eat the most beautiful gifts, foods, the amazing fruits. Do you not think that in Jannat Hazrat Adam alayhi salam had the the smell to divine, to smell the divine smells? I'm sure there'll be like lots of happy musk kind of nice smells. Do you think in Jannat he was unable to hear the rivers? He had it all, and even then he made a mistake. Now Allah could have blocked his senses and say, you know what, ये मैंने इसको सारे 6 senses दिए थे, all bakwas, all bekar, let me just take it away as a punishment and send him to earth in hell. He could have done that, right? But he didn't. So he could have come down to earth, he couldn't see, he couldn't hear, he couldn't taste, he couldn't smell. Can you imagine that? Just imagine it for half a second. You're like, oh my God. If we don't have our senses, if we don't have the sensations that our body feels, what would happen? But Allah chose to forgive him when he was ashamed. When he asked from Allah, Allah gave him a fresh start. He didn't say, "Mera plan tha tum logon ko duniya mein bhejne ka, but you guys have failed me, so now you're not going to go where you're meant to go." No, he didn't. What does our upbringing say? What do you even do? Like when you have a child who's committed a mistake, what do you do? Hold the grudge for years and years and years. This person did this. Hazrat Adam alayhi salam committed a sin in Jannat, in the presence of Allah. What did Allah do? What was Allah's? How do we know he was Ya Rahim? Allah forgave him the moment he asked for forgiveness. Ask for forgiveness. Allah had to teach him that the only way you will be able to live a life with Allah is when you ask for forgiveness. Now, when you ask for forgiveness, please, Mama, please, mujhe maaf kar de, or please, come on, please forgive me, or your father, or your sibling, or your ex-husband, or whatever, please, mujhe maaf kar de. How many times do you think they are able to forgive you? And they are not able to forgive you because how many times have you yourself been able to forgive you? And what did Allah do? Not only forgive him, but sent him down to earth. Which, what does that mean? Giving him a completely new, fresh start, like there was no sin ever committed, and gave them a block in their memory so that they don't even remember. That is Ya Tawwab. That is Ya Rahim. That is the level of Allah's love for us. Yes, you made a mistake. Yes, you failed. But when you ask forgiveness, I'll give you a fresh start, like the sin never even happened. And on top of that, which is really, really beautiful of Allah, is on top of that, He chose Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, who, again, let me remind you, made a massive, committed a massive sin in Jannah. He was chosen to not only have a fresh start in a new life in this world, with all Allah's senses available to him, free and flowing and constant. Not only all that, not only that the sin was completely washed off from his memory, he was given the title of being a prophet. Now, Allah could have said he's not the prophet and maybe his son could be a prophet. Allah could have taken away that role from him. But Allah chose him to be a role model for all people, every humanity, like every person on the planet comes from that person. Sorry. He became the role model for people to follow and be a guide for all and a messenger of Allah. Can you imagine what Ya Rahim means? Like, it's so incredible. I sat with this deep feeling of how we spend years not valuing what He has given us and constantly feeling the lack of what is not there. But through this name today, I feel like now it won't be a problem for us to have a single second of our life not being in praise of His mercy, of being Rahim to all of humanity. Because of Hazrat Adam's sin, all his 5, 6 senses failed. We, as a punishment, could have had no sense at all. But it is the mercy of Allah that we are able to have all the 6 senses. Through our mistakes, which we commit knowing and unknowingly, He knows about them. And the only reason He blesses us the mistake is to give us a chance to turn back to Him so that He can show us how much He loves us, how much He loves all of us with our faults, with our mistakes, with our sins. He loved Hazrat Adam alayhi salam even after he committed the sin. He loves His creation with all its faults, all its mistakes. He's not sitting there to punish us. He is there to remind us of Him as Ya Rahim, the one who forgives. But for Him to forgive, we need to do our bit. Hazrat Adam turned to Allah in repentance, which means Hazrat Adam alayhi salam needed to feel the shame, regret, sadness, grief, sorry, all jealousy, envy, all of these emotions, which helped him turn to Allah. So all of these emotions are part of Allah's blessing. We need to do our bit and never forget to ask for His forgiveness. For when we ask Him, just that moment of turning to Him, the act of repenting is an act of choosing to connect to Him for His mercy. He wants to give it to us anyway. Because He says, Ya Rahim, free flowing mercy. It's already there. You just have to go and fill yourself up with His mercy. The reason He gives us mercy is so that we can keep our hearts clean. You see, the reason you are smelling, the reason you are seeing, the reason you are touching, the reason you are tasting, the reason you are still able to do all of that is so that your heart can be healed. You know, when they say, oh, put on a light music so your ears can hear some calmness, or go and eat a nice cake, or go and do something, activate a sense. What does that really do? It calms your heart. It keeps your heart clean. The whole purpose of these 6 senses is so that you can protect your heart of any pain and darkness of this dunya. For when you meet Him, that is what you will be showing Allah, is how much light did you bring back? How many stars that you've created on the sheet of paper today? How many stars did you manage to bring back to Him? It is His mercy that He gives you all these senses so that they calm your heart, calm your mind, bring you home to forgiveness, so that you carry no darkness of this planet when you go and meet Him. For to Him you belong, and to Him, inshallah, you will return. I hope that after this session, inshallah ta'ala, whoever is listening is so consciously aware of all the 6 senses you have, and never, ever, 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 ever take it for granted. Your intuition is your connection to your heart. Your heart needs you to be understanding that His forgiveness is like the forgiveness He showed for Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. Fresh start, clean state. You have to let go of all the lines that helped you get to the stars. But once you reach the stars, that's your focus. Your focus is your heart, your Allah, your meeting with your Allah. When your focus becomes that, your body pain, your obstacles, your everything will be removed. But it is you who has to say, I choose Allah before my body. I choose Allah before everything around me. I choose Allah. And that automatically helps you be very conscious of what you're smelling. When you smell something, it's not like, hey, look how nice this smells. No, no, no. Allah is allowing me to smell this so that I can remember Him through that smell. And that smell helps to calm my nerves down so that my heart is ready when it's going to meet Him. Oh, when I hear that sound, that music, that meditation, that calmness, or a song that I'm humming, the vibration of the song, oh, what a nice song. No, 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 no. What a lovely mercy of my Allah that I can hear the sound that calms my nerves, heals my heart, so that it can be prepared for my meeting. When you're drawing, when you're doing art, how does art become ibadat? Is when you actually say, I could not even hold a pen in my hand. The lines that I'm creating, the color that I'm seeing in your eyes, are not seeing the color blue, pink, yellow, red. It is Him choosing for you to see that color. So automatically your seeing becomes a blessing, a mercy. And when you start living life like that, you spiritually start expanding. The number of stars will expand, and all you will see is light. And there, that's all. He will not let darkness come to you when you are connected to him through all your six senses. The stars have six sides. The six sides help you come back home to your light. I just genuinely feel that we've wasted so much time and we don't know how much time we have. So every day, if you value your six senses and trust them, build them, connect to them as a gift, as him being Rahim to you, my job is done. I love you all. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next session. Inshallah. Allah Hafiz.